In very exciting news, before I get onto the studio vlog itself, I wanted to mention that I decided on a date to launch my online store. I didn't expect myself to be doing this so soon, honestly, but I have everything completely ready and I'm really excited to be able to launch my shop finally after what feels like such a long time of talking about it. So I'm very excited to say that my shop will officially launch in just under a week from today. It'll be live on Monday, March 22nd at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'll have a bunch of stickers and prints available, the prints being the product that has the least stock per item, as I only printed 10 of each design, but those will all be available on the 22nd. I've put a lot of time and energy into opening a store, and it's definitely something that I'm still really nervous about because I have absolutely no idea how it's going to do or how many sales I'll get, but I'm really excited and proud of myself for doing it because it's something that I've wanted to do for genuinely years and years. My shop site is tirameowsu.bigcartel.com, which will be linked in the description box below, although it's not currently live so you can't see any of the products on there, but I'll also be making posts on both Instagram and the YouTube community tab when my shop officially launches on the 22nd. So with that out of the way, we can get into the rest of the studio vlog, and this isn't super important, but I really wanted to share it with you guys. Box Lunch and Hot Topic started selling these giant Naruto figures, which are like genuine official Naruto products. They're called Naruto, it's just the characters as cats, and they're so stinking cute. I saw these years and years ago. There's actually a way bigger line of characters in the smaller figures, whereas these are the larger ones, and they only have, for the time being, Naruto, Sasuke, Kaci, and Sakura, but as soon as I saw Box Lunch and Hot Topic carrying these, I pre-ordered them immediately, and I was so excited to receive these. I just got Naruto and Sasuke because the Sakura and the Kakashi ones, they kind of looked a little silly. I mean, they all look silly, but I really liked the design of these two, and they're so freaking cute. I was so excited to get these. They're so well made, they're adorable, so I just figured I'd share those with you guys because they're so stinking cute. And if you did not know that these Naruto figures existed, now you do, and now you can suffer with me and spend a bunch of money on them because they are so stinking adorable. And then as part of like starting at my shop and doing stuff like that, initially I was kind of leaning towards doing business cards, and I really wanted to come up with a design for business cards, and just for the sake of having all of my like social media and information on a physical little card that I could give out. But then I started thinking of like how, in my opinion, when I get like business cards from artists and stuff, I don't really pay much attention to them. Like if I have an art book or something, I'll keep it because I'll keep it with the art book, but like I don't really personally like look at the business cards often or pay attention to the business cards, and I feel like a lot of people just straight up throw away business cards, which makes sense because like what are you gonna do with it unless it's something you're gonna display in terms of art. Like I have a couple of business cards on display because the backside has a piece of art on it, but like I feel like in a sense it's a little bit of a waste of money for me to do business cards because I feel like most people would just end up throwing them away, and while it's a nice little thing to get, I was like, I don't think I want to do that. So what I actually decided on doing was instead doing like little freebie postcard prints that has like a complete print artwork on one side, and then on the other side it just has information that would be used as a business card. So my Instagram, my YouTube, my shop, stuff like that. And that's what I ended up doing, and I think that's really nice because yes, you're getting the aspects of a business card, but on top of that, it's getting a little freebie print. So the little illustration that I showed at the beginning of these clips was the illustration that I did for the front side of this kind of freebie print situation. And then what you're seeing right now is me struggling desperately to figure out what I wanted to do for the back because it was a little bit of a trip. I did not know what I wanted it to look like at all, so I was kind of just playing around with the design for a good amount of time, and in the end I settled on something that I was happy with. I was mainly just going for a color scheme and like a theme and design that matched my shop because I've been doing a lot of graphics for that on the side, just for stuff like not really like promo images, but just graphics to put on my store. So I was just trying to keep the color scheme the same and keep it very cat themed because that's what I've been really enjoying recently, is doing stuff cat themed. So I kept the free print part of this illustration to my two cats, Aslan and Fiora, and I'm really happy with how those turned out. I ordered them from Vistaprint all in all, I ended up getting 750, which was way more than I intended on getting, but that's how many I ordered, and it came out to being around $75, which, all things considered, was not that bad. And then recently, I got super into the Promised Neverland. I had heard of it before, and I had seen the characters and stuff, but based off of the main characters being children, and the title of the series being called The Promised Neverland, I figured it was like, I don't know, some happy, like, nice little anime, and I had no interest in it. I had no idea what the subject matter was, and I didn't care about The Promised Neverland, not in a bad way or anything. It was just like, I don't know what this is about. I make assumptions on what it's about based off of the name and what I've seen of the characters, and boy, were my assumptions wrong. If you do not know, The Promised Neverland is a super, super dark and like serious show. So much happens in it. It is amazing, but like, I had no idea the subject matter of this show, and then my fiance and his brother were talking about it in front of me, and they were talking about how like it had such a weird and dark atmosphere, and I was like, wait, what? And so we ended up starting to watch it together, and it is just so amazing. I really like dark shows. I really like the horror genre and thriller genres, so if you do, this show is like a must watch for you. It is so well done. The story is so well executed. So I ended up watching the first season, and I heard that the second season skipped really big parts of the show. So I decided to just read the manga start to finish, and it's like 181 chapters, and I read that over the course of like 2.5, 3 days. It is such an amazing story. Like, I'm absolutely in love with it. If you like darker stuff, like, it really gives me Madoka Magica vibes in terms of like young kids going through a lot of stuff and they don't really understand what's going on, but as they learn it, you realize that the universe is really messed up. It's really, really cool. It's such a cool series, so would highly recommend. It's my newest hyperfixation, so I've been really having fun doing art, so I decided to do this piece of Emma, who's the main character from the show, who I absolutely love. I checked my P.O. box the other day, and I got the absolute sweetest package from one of my mutuals over on Instagram. Their username is Salties, and they have such gorgeous artwork, so I really recommend checking them out. But they were very kind, and they sent me a bunch of watercolor paper samples after hearing that I hadn't found the perfect paper just yet. So I was so touched when I got this package, because I had no idea they were sending this to me, and it was such a nice and thoughtful gift, because watercolor paper as a whole is pretty expensive, so it's really hard to try a bunch of different brands because you can't normally buy a small amount of paper at a time. You normally have to buy an entire pad at a time. So I didn't know who this package was from, and as soon as I saw their stickers, I immediately recognized that it was from them. I was so excited to get this. It was so sweet. So thank you so much, Salties, for sending these to me. I'm really excited for trying out all these different kinds of papers, and they were so kind, and they labeled all of them and gave all the information on the papers and made it really easy to tell what is what. So I'm really excited to try out all these papers because a lot of them are papers that I've really wanted to try myself, but watercolor paper is dang expensive, so it's really nice and helpful to have little pieces of each of these. So thank you so much to Salties. This was, like I said, such a sweet and thoughtful gift, so thank you so much for sending these guys to me. As a final bit of shop prep before I actually launch my shop, I realized that a couple of sticker designs that I had made, I actually had not made like batches of stickers and taken pictures of them and uploaded them to my store. So I had 3 designs specifically that I know I wanted to add to my store, and those were the Moo Bloom, the Moo Shroom, and then a sticker design I have of Madoka and Homura from Madoka Magica. So really quickly, I decided I would just go ahead and make around 30 of each sticker. That way I would be able to list those to my shop because, like I said, I just hadn't made batches of these. I honestly kind of just forgot about these designs entirely, but they're definitely something that I wanted to have available on my shop, so I just really quickly went ahead and made a couple of batches of stickers. Honestly, the entire process of making stickers is really satisfying for me, and just having the big stack of like one design of stickers at the very end is really nice. So I always have fun making stickers. Thankfully, for the most part, my Cricut is very cooperative, so hopefully it stays that way and doesn't get like calibrated poorly or something along the lines of that, because that would be a really big pain in the butt, because I know a lot of other people struggle a lot when it comes to working with Cricuts, but for the most part, ever since I got mine sorted out as far as calibration goes, it's been really good to me. I still have the issue of my stickers getting like a little crinkly in some parts where the vinyl kind of, it's like wiggly and warpy in some edges, and that's just how it ends up getting cut. I'm just sticking with that, so my stickers don't have the most like smooth in terms of cut edges. They're not like sharp or anything like that, but some of my stickers have little weird edges, and this is just, I guess, the imperfection of making stickers at home for me. I don't know if it's the paper, I don't know if it's my Cricut. Sticker paper is expensive, and I really like this sticker paper, so I haven't tried any other brands. I'll probably try some in the future, but for the time being, I'm okay with it. I've come to terms with it. This is just how it's gonna be. So here's some footage of just me making stickers, because it's very satisfying to watch. It's really nice to watch the Cricut cut, especially sped up. I think it's very fun to watch, so I hope you guys like watching it too. And if you guys have any questions as far as me opening my online store goes, I'm sure most of them will be answered. I would like to think when the store itself actually opens, but if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll try my best to answer them. I'm still very new to the whole concept of opening an online store, and there's a lot of things where I'm like, I really don't know how this is gonna go or like how it's gonna work and stuff like that, but I'm just gonna figure it out as I go, and I'm very excited to be able to share my insight of opening an online store probably like 6 months in, when I'm much more far established and know what I'm doing, and be able to share that with you guys, because I know it's very overwhelming just to look at the situation of doing something like that if you don't have any background in it and you've never done it before, but everyone starts from not knowing what they're doing, so I'm more than happy to share my personal experience and my insight in it, and like especially when it comes to talking about the actual like site building, because I'm using Big Cartel and it's working very nice for me so far, but I would like to share more about that when I actually have the online store open and I can kind of see how like shipping pans out and just orders coming in as a whole pans out as far as Big Cartel handles it. So in the future, I'll be able to answer more stuff along those lines, but if you guys have any questions, like I said, about the shop, feel free to leave them below and I will do my best to answer them. I was also super excited to receive my order of the thank you cards / like business card designs. I got them as 4x6 postcard prints from Vistaprint. I haven't ordered actually any kind of prints from like a third party. This was my first time ever outsourcing something like this, because for all of my Patreon prints and the prints I'm offering through my shop, I'm printing from home, but I knew because it was double-sided printing, I really just didn't want to have to do that from home, and all things considered, it was really cheap to do this. Like in the end, even with shipping included, each of these costed me like around 10 cents, I want to say. So I was really excited to see the quality, because the only other thing I've ordered from Vistaprint were my little self-inking stamps, which I have a do not bend stamp and then I have a return address stamp. So I was really excited to see the print quality on these, and I'm really happy with it. Like considering the price of these, I think the saturation is a little bit lower, but I worked on these in RGB versus you're supposed to work in CMYK for printing. So if there's any kind of color issues, it's my own fault for not working in the correct format, but they turned out so cute and I'm so happy with them. I'm really excited to be able to send these guys out to you guys when you place shop orders and stuff like that, and like give them to my friends and stuff like that, because I really like them and they're of my cats, so I love them. But that is everything I have to share with you guys for this studio vlog. Thank you guys so much for all of your support and for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.